Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a really good weekend. Today, I'm going to read The Custodian from the Black Lagoon. And this is written by Mike Taylor, and the pictures are by Jared Lee. So this is fiction. It's not true. It's make-believe. I want you to look at the cover. Let's look at the cover of the story. Look at the details in the picture and the drawing. And then you're going to start your morning journal writing first before I read it, because you're going to do two things for me. You're going to write the date. So today is June 8th, 2020. So 6, because June is the 6th month of the year. Today is the 8th, and the year is 2020. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write the first sentence before I even read the book to you, okay? It says, I predict the custodian from the Black Lagoon will be. So then I want you to make some predictions about the custodian. What do you think the custodian will be like? Who do you think it will be? What do you think he's like? Tell me. What do you think he's like? So I'm going to leave the sentence here. It's kind of hard to show you the picture and the sentence at the same time, but let's try that. So I predict, so first do your date, 6/8/2020. And then you're going to say, I predict the custodian from the Black Lagoon will be. So think of some adjectives that might describe him. What is he like? Right? Some adjectives could be big, small, scary, happy, friendly, unfriendly, mean, helpful. What do you think he's like? And then your second sentence says, my prediction was, and you see how this is highlighted? I highlighted it because you're only going to pick one of these words. You're not going to write both of them. So either your prediction was correct or my prediction was incorrect. So you only pick one of these. If your prediction was correct, after we're done reading the story, if your prediction was correct, that means that you were right. Whatever you said about him is right. If it's incorrect, it means whatever you said about him was not right. So right now, really only focus on this sentence. I predict the custodian from the Black Lagoon will be. Tell me, what do you think he'll be like? Okay. If you need to pause to get the rest of the sentence, pause, because I'm going to be moving on. Okay. Let's get started with our story. So, the custodian from the Black Lagoon. The custodian from the Black Lagoon. And then this one's on AR too, so you can log on to AR and take your quiz. It says, somewhere in the dark caverns beneath our school lurks the custodian. His name is Fester Smudge. I've never seen him because he waits until everyone's gone home before he emerges. Emerges means he comes out. So he doesn't come out until everybody's gone home. He knows all the secret passages and tunnels beneath the school, just like the Phantom of the Opera. So he knows all the secret passages. They say if you ride by after dark, You can hear him playing terrible tunes in his giant cave. Oh my. They say it's like Dr. Frankenstein's lab, full of machines that whirl, whiz, whir, hum, crackle, and pop. So this is what it looks like where he lives, according to what he's heard about the custodian. Does he know for sure that this is true yet? No. Look at everything. Oh no, there's a dog trying to escape there. That looks pretty frightening. In the darkest corners roars a fire-breathing dragon with big white eyes and metal teeth. Let me see. The dragon. He's trained to make the school building boiling hot all summer and freezing cold all winter. They say you can even ice skate in the halls. Uh-oh. Derek says Fester is mechanically challenged. He changed a light bulb and blew the ceiling off the gym. Kaboom! So he doesn't really know how to fix things. Then he tried to fix a leak and the cafeteria was underwater for a week. So a leak is when water is dripping out of a pipe or out of somewhere. So he tried to fix the water leak, but instead the cafeteria was underwater. Eric says Fester's grandfather was the engineer in the Titanic. If he was the engineer in the Titanic, that means he wasn't a very good engineer because the Titanic sunk. And his grandmother worked on the Hindenburg. And this also was not a good thing because the Hindenburg ended up burning. So if they were working on it, that means they didn't do a very good job. Kids are still talking about the time he electrocuted a visiting author with a clip-on mic. Oh no. And how the fire department came to free him from a folding chair. He got stuck in a chair. He doesn't seem to be very good at his job from what he's heard, right? And a Coast Guard helicopter came to rescue him from a toilet bowl. Oh no. He got stuck on the toilet bowl, so they had to come rescue him. Doris says he's not a very fussy cleaner either, and our school has been designated as the town landfill. So he doesn't do a good job at cleaning, according to Doris. Freddie says flies follow Fester everywhere. Kids almost saw him the time he folded up the lunch tables while everyone was still eating. Oh no. Or when he got his foot tangled in the rope and spent the day at the top of the flagpole. He's hanging. Uh-oh. I can't remember my locker combination. Here comes a man in overalls. Oh my, it's Mr. Smudge. He has lots of keys on a ring, and he opens my locker. Then he smiles, shines, shines the handle, and walks away whistling. Hey, he's really neat. I'm gonna ask him if I can see his dragon sometime. Okay, so now I want you to look at your journal and you're gonna write sentence number 2. My prediction was correct or incorrect? Were you right about him? So in the story, we read all these terrible things about him. Doris says he wasn't a good cleaner. Kids were talking about the time he electrocuted a visiting author. Eric says his father, Mr. Fester's grandfather, was the engineer on the Titanic. Derek says Fester is mechanically challenged. So all these terrible things are going around school about the custodian, but were any of these things true? No. That's what happens when kids talk sometimes, or when people talk, right? That's why when something happens, I ask you, did you see it yourself? Because if you didn't see it, can you believe that it's true? Sometimes, but sometimes you need to prove it, right? So all these rumors are going on about Mr. What was his name? Fester Smudge. But none of them end up being true because finally in the end when he meets him, he realizes that he's actually a really nice guy and he's helpful. So I want you to tell me, was what you thought about him true? You told me what you thought he was going to be like. Was it true? So my prediction was, if it was true, it's going to be correct. If it wasn't true, it's going to be incorrect. And that doesn't mean that it's wrong. It doesn't mean you did a bad job. It just means sometimes we think one thing and really it ends up being something else. So it doesn't mean that you got it wrong or that you should be worried about it. It just means that sometimes our opinion about people change. So maybe what you thought he was going to be like is no longer true, right? So my prediction was correct or incorrect. And then you can go ahead and draw a picture that goes with the story. Alrighty, boys and girls. See you later.